very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and this is Pointless, the quiz show where the stakes are high, but the points need to be low. Let's meet today's players. So welcome, Rohan and Nigel. You're our first pair today. How do you two know each other?
Well, Rohan will very shortly be my son-in-law.
Oh, that's brave. Rohan. Oh, the stakes are really high.
Indeed, yeah.
Blimey, Nigel, what a kind hand of future father-in-lawness to hand down to Rohan. Rohan, you're going to have to do so well today. So well.
Yeah, indeed.
Is your fiancée here? Is she watching in the audience?
No, she's too busy at work, unfortunately, but...
Oh, she'll be watching it when it goes out on telly. Oh, dear, I hope things are still sweet then between you. Anyway, best of luck on the show. Welcome to Sandy and Charlotte. How do you two know each other?
We met in secondary school, so we've been best friends since we were 11 years old.
Oh, fantastic. Where was that?
In Cardiff.
In Cardiff? You still live in Cardiff?
I do, yes, I do. I live with my partner and my baby daughter, Ellen.
Oh, Charlotte, how about you?
In Bath.
In Bath. Yeah. What do you do in Bath?
I'm a secondary history teacher.
Very good. Well, best of luck to you. And welcome back, Kaylee and Simon. Everyone, of course, gets 2 shots at the Pointless final. This is your second and final shot at it. How did you do last time?
Got eliminated in the second round. I didn't know my film quotes.
You did not know your film quotes, Simon. Well, best of luck to the pair of you. And finally, we have got Lauren and Scott. How do you two know each other?
We met 6 years ago in Cheltenham, and we've been married in 2. We met on FA Cup Day, Millwall versus Man United.
You were obviously cheering on the Lions, I should imagine.
Certainly wasn't Man United.
Certainly wasn't Man United. And you bonded on
Yes.
watching the FA Cup.
Yes, we find his lager and red wine is a good thing to bring 2 people together.
And what a mix as well. Beautiful. Very best of luck to you throughout the show. We'll find out more about all of you as the show goes on. There's just one more person for me to introduce, a man who lives and breathes obscurity. He's my pointless friend. He's Richard.
Hi, hello.
I see living obscurity. Obviously, we all know about that. Breathing it, though, Richard. Is that wise?
Well, it's like breathing at altitude. You need training. That aside, got a great show today. We've only got one returning pair, Simon and Kaylee, but I thought they were rather good last time, so I suspect they might do quite well. Now, Charlotte, you're a history teacher. We've had a lot of very good, quite tough history questions recently, but none today, I'm afraid. So it's probably good in a way, because that would be a little bit too much pressure for you.
Thanks very much, Richard. Now, we've put all our questions to 100 people before the show, but this is pointless, so we're after the obscure answers that they didn't get. To stay in the game with a chance to win our jackpot, all our players need to do is score as few points as they possibly can. Of course, what everyone's trying to do is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people gave, and each time that happens, if it happens, we will add £250 to the jackpot. Now, nobody has won the jackpot for ages now. We will add another £1,000 to that, so today's jackpot starts off at £6,000. Let's play Pointless. Now, in the first round, each of you must give me one answer, and you cannot confer with your partner. Whichever team has the highest score at the end of the round will, of course, be eliminated. Just make sure it's not you. OK, our category for round 1 is animated films. Can you decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second?
Yeah.
And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Disney heroines as they could. Disney heroines. Richard.
Yeah, I don't want to blind anyone with science, but all the correct answers in this round are female characters who appeared in a Disney feature film. If anybody, Rohan, if you want me to go through that again, just to make sure you got it, you let me know.
OK, thanks.
OK. Right, Rohan and Nigel, you all drew lots before the show, and you get to start this time. So in round 1, I'm going to give you a choice of 7 possible answers on the board in each pass. First set of 7 answers reads like this. Perdita, Ariel, Duchess, Cinderella, Tamara Shear, Jasmine, Helen Parr. I'll just read those again. Perdita, Ariel, Duchess, Cinderella, Tamara Shear, Jasmine, Helen Parr. I can tell you that at least one of those answers is pointless. And also, at least one of those answers is incorrect. If you pick that, you will score the maximum of 100 points. There you are, you've been told. Rohan, do you get animated about animated films?
So-so. When I was younger, yeah.
Do you remember characters from animated films?
I do, yes. But the ones I remember, I think, will be the most obvious. So I'm
I
looking
see.
there, trying to think of the least obvious, obviously.
Absolutely. You're trying to find the most obscure one that will score you the fewest points.
Yeah. I could play it safe, but I think as I'm going first, I won't.
Also, because you intend to marry Nigel's daughter. You won't.
I'll go with Jasmine.
OK. Do you know who Jasmine...
Yeah, I think she's in Aladdin.
OK, Jasmine, you're saying. Let's see if that's a correct answer. If it is, let's see how many people said it. Jasmine. It is correct. Good answer, Rohan. That scores you 10 points. Jasmine, Richard.
Yeah, very good start to the show. Well done, Rohan. She's she's Aladdin's love interest in Aladdin.
Very good. So we are looking for Disney heroines, Sandy. You good on your Disney heroines?
Well, I'm the oldest of 6, so I grew up watching the Disney films. So...
I presume you kept on watching them
Oh, yeah.
as your younger 5 siblings grew up as well.
yes. Oh,
Wow.
yes.
So you know these people well.
Well, I hope I do. I'm debating between 2, which I think are pretty unknown. I'm going to go for Perdita. I think that's 101 Dalmatians.
Perdita. 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 I've just learned something. Right, let's see if Perdita is the right answer. If it is, let's see how many people said it. Perdita. It's right. Ooh, it's a good answer, Sandy. Look at that. Look at that! 2 points. Very good answer. Richard, Perdita.
Yeah, really good answer. And Perdita, as you say, she's a Dalmatian. She's married, of course, to Pongo.
Indeed.
That's in a world where dogs get married, which is a world I would like to live in. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, dog weddings.
Driving
They'd
through
be
town
brilliant.
centre, seeing dog weddings in the town hall. You may now sniff the bride.
OK, we are looking for Disney heroines. Kaylee. Kaylee. Is this a good subject for you, Kaylee?
It wasn't too bad, although I actually wanted to go for the one that Sandy's just chosen. So I'm debating now whether to...
How many on there do you not know?
I want to say 2.5, but that's...
OK.
2 I've definitely not heard of.
Right.
2 I definitely have. And the other one I think is going to be the one I'll go for. Just, I hope it's not wrong. I'm going to go for Duchess.
Duchess. What do you think Duchess is?
I have no idea. It sounds like a dog's name, possibly something like Lady and the Tramp, but I don't know if she was called Lady.
Good thinking. I like the sound of that. Let's see if it's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Duchess. It's right. Another low score. Look at that! The lowest possible score. That's a pointless answer. It adds £250 to the jackpot, taking the total up to 6,250, and it scores you nothing. Very good.
Yeah, very good answer. Very good start, Kaylee. She's not from Lady and the Tramp, though. She's from the Aristocats. She's a pedigree cat.
Now then, Scott, you are the last person to have this selection of names.
It's not my specialist subject. I believe Ariel to be from a Disney film and Cinderella. I'm going to go for Ariel, who I believe is in The Little Mermaid.
Ariel from The Little Mermaid. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Not a bad answer. That scores you 18, Scott. Ariel, Richard.
Yeah, well played, Scott. Better safe than sorry. Ariel she's not only from The Little Mermaid, she is The Little Mermaid. Ariel. Let's go through the rest of the board, though. There's an obvious one there, Cinderella. That would have scored you 48 points. Now, out of the other 2, Tamara Shear and Helen Parr, one of those is pointless and one of those is incorrect. What do you think?
Helen Parr is going to be a Disney character.
Yeah, Helen Parr is in fact Elastigirl, the mother from The Incredibles, and would have been a pointless answer. So very well done if you got that at home. would have added £250 to the jackpot. Tamara Shear, she's Walt Disney's granddaughter.
OK, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores as they stand. Pretty low-scoring round there, especially from Kaylee and Simon. What a great answer that was, Duchess. Sandy and Charlotte looking great on 2. Another brilliant answer. Rohan, well done. 10's probably going to see you through. Scott, good answer on 18. However, you are the high scorer by a little bit of a margin there. You're 8 points clear of the field. So, yes, Lauren, no pressure, but let's have a pointless. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 7 more answers on the board. We are looking for Disney heroines, and here's your list. Snow White, Princess Tiami, Belle, Jane Porter, Pocahontas, Cammy, Wendy Darling. Let me just read those one more time. Snow White, Princess Tiami, Belle, Jane Porter, Pocahontas, Cammy, Wendy Darling. And again, I can tell you that at least one of those answers is pointless and at least one of those answers is incorrect, so try and avoid those. Right, Lauren, you are on 18. You are the high scorers.
This is not a good round for me.
Oh, really?
No.
Lauren, what would have been a good round for you?
Wow, anything.
Anything but Disney. I'd have thought this would be everyone's first choice.
Yeah.
You said literally anything but Disney, though, you'd be... So the rest of the show...
Oh, no. But I recognise some very obvious ones, but because we need the points, I'm going to go for one that I'm not sure, but...
Scott, what is that face?
You see pulling a face.
This one of fear.
Fear.
You get that a lot. Princess Tiami. I'm going to go. I've no idea
Tiami.
what it's from.
OK, Princess Tiami. There's no red line for you because you are the high scorers. Let's see if Princess Tiami is right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Princess Tiami.
I've got it over with for everyone.
Unfortunately, Princess Tiami is not a correct answer. Richard.
Yeah, I'm afraid Princess Tiami is actually Jordan's daughter. There's a Princess Tiana in Princess and the Frog, but Princess Tiami is very much all Jordan's creation.
Blimey, double A, 3 eyes. This is a Scrabble mess.
Yeah. It's a lovely way to name a child.
Isn't it?
Like your youngest, Farangong.
You think Farangong's a funny name, do you?
Like, I don't. A lot of the backstage people are saying yes. It's an unusual name. But he's an unusual child. So it sort of suits him.
Lauren.
You got a lot of chat out of it, didn't you?
We'll get chat out of anything. You worry about that. As you were implying that, the writing is, in fact, on the wall. You have gone, I'm afraid, irretrievably ahead. Remember, we are looking for Disney heroines. Simon, Kaylee did fantastically well. She pulled a pointless out of the bag. You're looking at a list of 6 potential answers there. What are you going to give me?
Well, I'm glad the pressure's off me, actually, because I only know a couple of the obvious ones. So I'm going to, knowing that I can get it wrong and still go through, I'm going to take a guess.
Find a pointless answer in there, Simon.
Belle.
You're going for Belle?
Belle.
OK, there is Belle.
Possibly is Lady and the Tramp.
Kaylee's shaking her head, manly. Is Belle right, do you think?
It's right, but it's not. I don't think it's Lady and the Tramp. It's Beauty and the Beast.
No red line for you, obviously, because you're through come what may. Let's see if it's right, and let's see how many people said Belle. It's the right answer. $14, not a bad answer, Simon. Scores you 14, gives you a total of 14. Belle.
Well, to quote Kaylee, it's right, but it's not from Lady and the Tramp. It's from Beauty and the Beast. Word perfect.
Very good. Now, Charlotte. So remember, we are looking for Disney heroines.
As we can't go out, I'll take a shot at Cammy.
Cammy. Let's see if it's a correct answer, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Cammy. Bad luck, Charlotte. That's an incorrect answer, which means I'm afraid you score the maximum of 100 points, giving you a total of 102, Richard.
That's exactly the right tactics, though, Charlotte. If you can't go out, you might as well try and add £250 to the jackpot. Cammy is one of the characters in the Street Fighter video game.
Nigel. You are on 10. You have a free hand. Charlotte has very kindly mind-swept for you. There's a pointless in there, at least one pointless.
Well, I'll go for the one that I haven't heard of then, which is Jane Porter.
Jane Porter. Let's see if that is indeed a pointless answer, and hope that it is. Jane Porter. It's right. Jane Porter is indeed pointless. It adds £250 to today's jackpot, taking the total up to 6,500, and it scores you nothing, leaving you with a total of 10. Jane Porter.
Yeah, well done, Nigel. That's a nice stress-free way of making £250, isn't it? Jane Porter is actually Tarzan's wife.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the rest of the board. Snow White, obviously, is a Disney character, but would have scored you a very high 63 points, so very well avoided by everyone. Pocahontas, obviously, is another correct answer, would have scored you 18. Now, Wendy Darling from Peter Pan would have scored you a very, very small 3 points.
Wow.
Surprisingly small.
Thanks very much, Richard. So at the end of round one, the losing pair with the highest score, I'm afraid it's Lauren and Scott. Princess Tiami,
No, she really isn't.
she ended your pointless quest, but only for the first time. We will see you again next time, of course. Everyone gets 2 shots at the pointless final. And hopefully next time we'll see you for a lot more than just the first round. Thanks so much for playing. Great contestants. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. It's now time to find out which of the 2 teams will be going through to the head-to-head for the chance to reach the pointless final. The category for round 2 is the spoken word. The spoken word. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. And the question is ways of saying thank you. This round, we're about to show you some ways of saying thank you. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to tell us which language they are from. Richard.
Yeah, we're going to give you 6 ways of saying thank you. The more obscure ones, and there are some pretty obscure ones in there, will score you the fewest points. If you give us an incorrect answer, then you'll score 100 points.
The first 6 are mulțumesc, diolch spasiba, ketosh, gracias, and merci. Mulțumesc, diolch spasiba, ketosh, gracias, merci. That was
good.
Awful. Yeah. OK. We are looking for thank you in many, many languages. Rohan.
Well, this is, I mean, there's a few...
How many languages do you speak, Rohan?
1. I was going to say 2.
How many?
Bad English as well, but yeah, no, I think this isn't a good round for me at all. I'm going to go for gracias. No, merci. Merci.
You're going to go for merci. OK. OK, what language is that in?
French.
Merci, French. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. It's like a correct answer. Only... well, it's 2 better than incorrect. That scores you 98, yeah. Rohan. Richard.
It shows we're a very polite nation when we travel to France.
Well, not a terrible score. I was about to say, no, it is a terrible score.
I'm afraid. Yeah.
I'm afraid it is a terrible score. Yeah. But there we are. It's better than 100. We are looking for the languages in which these are ways of saying thank you. Charlotte.
Yeah, luckily, growing up in Cardiff, I know that diolch is Welsh for thank you.
Welsh for thank you. Did I say it right?
No. Sorry.
OK, well, I think we know that's probably a right answer. Let's see how many people knew that that was Welsh. "27." Good answer, Charlotte.
Yeah, very good answer. You know, it's usually I repeat the answer you've given me. I didn't this time.
No, you didn't.
I thought with Charlotte here, I didn't dare.
Yeah. Kaylee, we are looking for the languages in which these words mean thank you.
Although I love how some of those look on there, I only actually know for definite one, and I don't want to risk it, even if there is a 2-point difference between 98 and the 100. So I'm going to go for gracias, which I believe is Spanish.
OK, gracias, or gracias.
Gracias.
Gracias. Let's see if it's correct, and let's see how many people knew that answer. It's right. 68. 68, that scores, Richard.
Yeah, surprisingly low score. Let's take a look at the rest of the board. And mulțumesc is, of course, Alexander.
I could hear Borat saying it, but I don't know.
It's Romanian, so very well done if you said that. Would have scored you 2 points. Spasiba.
Russian.
It is Russian, yeah, absolutely. That would have scored you slightly more, 14 points. And Katosh.
Katosh?
Yeah.
Joe, I don't know.
Katosh sounds like a rapper.
Katosh, not a very good one, though.
It's actually how you say thank you in Finland, and would have scored you 1 point. So very well done if you got that at home.
OK, let's take a look at the scores. We're halfway through the round. Rohan and Nigel, the high scorers there on 98. Rohan, you've left Nigel with quite a job to do on the next pass. Kaylee, not so bad there, 68. Charlotte and Sandy looking very strong there on 27. Right, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 6 more ways of saying thank you up on the board, and here they are. Obrigado, grazie, efharisto, danke, tanan, dziękuję. I will do them one more time. Obrigado, grazie, efharisto, danke, tanan, dziękuję. Remember, I'm so glad people who speak these languages aren't all represented and our contestants, they could just point out how terribly I say those. OK, remember, we are looking for the languages in which these words mean thank you. And you're trying to find the one that the fewest of our 100 people said. OK, Simon, you are on 68. If you can score 29 or less with this answer, you are definitely through to the next round.
That's a lot of pressure, that.
A lot of pressure. It's not the end of the world if you score over 29, of course, because the remaining pairs have yet to answer.
Well, I think I know 2 of them, but there's only one that I'm 100% on. So I'm going to, it's probably going to be high scoring, but I'm going to risk that and hope that it takes one of the obvious ones off the board for the other pairs.
Good tactic.
So I'm going to go with danke. And if my memory of school is correct, it's German.
Danke. OK, there is your red line. If you come under that red line, you are through to the next round, for sure. Danke, you are saying, German. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Which is right. Oh. I didn't even have time to say it's right before it stopped. 95, that scores you, taking your total up to 163. Richard.
Yeah, another very, very big score. So if you ever want to say thank you to a German, who knows, you might one day, danke is the way to do it.
Thanks very much, Richard. Sandy, I tell you the good news. You can't lose. Whatever you say, you are through to the head-to-head because you'll never overtake Simon and Kaylee's high score. We are looking for the languages in which these are ways of saying thank you. Does that make it a little bit easier for you?
Well, I recognise 2, now that danke has disappeared off the board, that I actually know where they're from. So I'm going to play it safe, but go with one that perhaps is a little bit less well-known. So I'm going to go for obrigado, which I think is Portuguese.
Obrigado, Portuguese. Let's see how many people said that and if it's correct. It's right. Good answer. Scores you 26, taking your total up to 53. Richard.
Yeah, very good answer. Sandy and Charlotte have played the round expertly, have they not?
They have. They have indeed. Right, Nigel.
Yes, so expertly that they've taken my answer.
Oh, no.
There's one of them which rings a bell, but I can't really place the language, so I'm going to have to go safe and hope that...
You're on 98. You have to score 64 or less.
And
I was going to remind you that Gracias, for example, scored 68.
So there must be a good chance that grazie, which is, I think, Italian, gets the same score.
You're hoping it gets a little bit less, I would imagine. Yes. But Oh, it's very exciting. Here's your red line. Below that red line, you're in the head-to-head. Above that red line, we say goodbye to you at the end of this round. Grazie Italian. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. It's right. You're through. Very well done. That scores you 58, taking your total up to 156. Richard.
Very, very well played. I think that's our politest round ever.
Isn't it?
We end with a big grazie to the Italians for getting Rohan and Nigel through. Let's take a look at the rest of the board there. Ifaristo, do you know where that is? Thank you.
Is it Greek?
It is Greek,
It is Greek.
yeah, it is Greek. Would have scored you 14 points. Now, Dziękuję
Polish.
would have scored you 5 points. And Tanan,
I don't know.
again, very well done if you got this at home. It's Estonian and would have scored 1 point.
There we are. OK, thanks, Richard. So at the end of round 2, the losing pair, I'm afraid it's Kaylee and Simon.
Again.
You've been given some duff categories.
Played it too safe on that one, I think.
Did you know any of the others?
I knew Italian, but I wasn't convinced enough that it was.
Oh, well, never mind. You've been fantastic contestants. Thanks so much for playing.
Thank you very much.
But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are about to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. Well, we've already said goodbye to 2 teams. It's now time to find out which of our remaining pairs will be playing for today's jackpot, which currently stands, in case you'd forgotten, at £6,500. So, Sandy and Charlotte, Rohan and Nigel, you are now going head-to-head on the best of 3 questions. You are now allowed to confer. All you have to do is come up with an answer that scores less than the opposing pair to win that point. The first team to get 2 points will be going through to today's jackpot final. Let's play Pointless. OK, here is your first question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many words in the abbreviation CD-ROM as they could. Richard.
Yeah, not much to add there. We're simply looking for any of the 5 words represented by that abbreviation, CD-ROM, which is the most obscure.
Good luck. Now, Sandy and Charlotte, because you've played best throughout the show so far, you get to go first.
Okay. We're going to go for the O in only.
Only?
Yeah.
Rohan and Nigel.
What does it stand for?
Compact disc, random. I thought it was operating.
I thought it was operating.
Obviously, the O's gone, so yeah, let's go for random.
Yeah, let's go for that.
R, random.
OK, random, you are saying. Let's take those in the order they've been given. Only, say Sandy and Charlotte. Let's see if that is correct. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Only. Well, it's right. $38. Rohan and Nigel have gone for random. Let's see if that's correct, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Random. Random, not a right answer, I'm afraid. So after the first question, Sandy and Charlotte are ahead, 1-0. Richard?
Random is the R in RAM, but not in ROM. But if you had got the R in this one, you would have just won the points. But it's read. It's a compact disc read-only memory. Let's take a look at how it would have scored. There you go, read would have scored you 37 points, would have just pipped only at 38. Then memory 49, compact 58, and disc with 67.
OK, thank you very much. Rohan and Nigel, you have to win this next point. Otherwise, we say goodbye to you. OK, here is the second question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many players with 10-plus Premier League goals as they could. Richard?
Yeah, we're looking for any player who managed to score 11 or more goals in the Premier League 2009-2010 season. So just in the Premier League, not in other competitions. Any of those players. There are 14 names on the list.
Right. Sandy and Charlotte not looking too thrilled with that question. Rohan and Nigel looking quite confident. No, they're not. Rohan looking quite confident. Nigel, a little bit concerned.
Okay, who do you want to go for?
I'm pretty sure.
That's a good one. Go on.
Okay.
OK, Rohan?
I think Darren Bent scored more than 10 Premier League goals.
Darren Bent.
Yeah.
Sandy and Charlotte, Darren Bent has gone.
Right, OK.
Just so you know. Does that mean anything to you?
No.
I might have just said...
Yeah, may as well have.
We're going to go for any footballers that we know the name of. Didier Drogba.
Didier Drogba. OK, we have Darren Bent and Didier Drogba. Darren Bent first, Rohan and Nigel. Let's see if it's correct. If it is, let's see how many people said it. That's right. Looks like a good answer, going a long way down. Look at that, 12. Well done, Rohan. Good answer. Sandy and Charlotte. Didier Drogba, a complete shot in the dark?
Well, he's quite good.
And I've heard of him, so that's always a start.
Let's see, Didier Drogba. Is it a correct answer? And if it is, how many people said it? That's right. Place in the final. Ooh. A good answer, Didier Drogba. Very respectable answer. Sadly, it doesn't beat Darren Bent. So, after 2 questions, you are 1 point apiece. Richard.
Yeah, very well played, Rohan. Darren Bent, actually the 3rd highest scorer in the Premier League 2009-2010 season. So there's 14 names on this list. I know some people will be desperately scrabbling to get them all down. There is actually a pointless answer as well. So let's take a look at the whole list. Right at the bottom there, Florian Malouda of Chelsea was a pointless answer. Dimitar Berbatov and Louis Saha would have got you 1 point each. Emmanuel Adebayor would have got you 2. I know the girls would be gutted. You forgot Gabriel Agbon-Lahore. He would have won you the point. You've got 3 points for you. Nicola Anelka, who scored 11 goals, he would have got you 4. Cesc Fabregas, 6 points. Let's take a look at the top of the list. Carlos Tevez of Man City, 6. Jermaine Defoe with 8. There's Darren Bent with 12. And the big guys, Torres with 18, Frank Lampard, 24. Didier Drogba there with 28. And Wayne Rooney, top of all, with 55. Well done if you got most of those.
OK, thank you very much. Right, it's come down to the 3rd question. Whoever wins this question is through to the final with a chance to play for that £6,500 jackpot. OK, here is your 3rd question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many countries that the Andes pass through as they could. Richard.
Yeah, tricky. The Andes pass through 7 different countries. We're looking for the most obscure of those 7.
Right. Sandy and Charlotte, your turn first.
We're sort of hoping, more than knowing, Bolivia.
Bolivia. OK, Bolivia, say Sandy and Charlotte.
I'm going to leave this to you.
OK, well, you've got Chile and Argentina in the south. Then it must go up through Paraguay, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia. 6, Bolivia, 7.
Oh, take your pick.
We'll go for Paraguay.
Paraguay, say Rohan and Nigel. Bolivia, we will take first from Sandy and Charlotte. This for a place in the final. Is it right? And if it is, how many people said it? It is correct. Good answer. A good answer. Is it good enough? Rohan and Nigel. Let's just see. Paraguay, how many people said it? Is it correct? No! I'm afraid Paraguay, an incorrect answer. So, after 3 questions, Sandy and Charlotte are through to the final. 2-1. Well done, Richard.
Nigel, you just took us on a tour of South America, of the Andes. Every single country you mentioned is on this list, apart from Paraguay. It's the one you mentioned. I'm so sorry. Let's take a look at the whole list. A couple of them would have won it for you as well. There's Venezuela with 9 at the bottom. You mentioned both Ecuador and Colombia. Both of those would have won the points, 12 and 15. Bolivia there with 20, and then at the top, Argentina 32, Chile with 40, and Peru right at the top with 41.
Bad luck, Rohan and Nigel. You are the losing pair at the end of the head-to-head. Why did you think Paraguay, I wonder?
Well, I knew it was down there, and I just didn't take the Andes far enough north to Venezuela. And I knew it was down there somewhere. I'm sure there are some foothills in Paraguay.
I bet there are. It's a sort of Andes afterthought. Very good. Well, thanks so much. We'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks so much for playing. But for Sandy and Charlotte, it's now time for our pointless final and the chance to win £6,500. So congratulations, Sandy and Charlotte. You've seen off the competition and you have won our pointless trophy. My congratulations. Now, though, you have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, which, at the end of today's show, stands at a pretty high £6,500. OK, the rules are very simple. To win the money, all you have to do is to find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people could think of. Now, we have had 2 pointless answers on the show today. You just need to find one more now to go home with that £6,500. Firstly, you've got to choose a category, and here are your 3 options to choose from. You can go for capital cities, screen sirens, classical music. That sounded almost ecstatic.
Well, we've really sadly revised 2 of those topics.
Sadly revised.
Sadly. As in, we know now we're torn on which one to choose.
OK, you're now torn.
I think we go for capital cities.
OK.
Yeah, let's go.
Capital cities?
Yes.
Which is Charlotte's particular area of expertise. No pressure, Charlotte.
No expertise at all.
Right, let's find out. Let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many capital cities of former Soviet states as they could. Richard?
Yeah, we're looking for the capitals of any of the countries that formerly made up the USSR. And by country, as always, we mean a member of the UN that's a sovereign state in its own right.
OK, you now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that £6,500 is for just one of them to be pointless. OK, your 60 seconds start now.
OK, Tbilisi is the capital of Georgia.
OK.
Tallinn is Estonia.
Yeah, I remember that from the Eurovision Song Contest.
Riga is Latvia.
OK.
Kiev is Ukraine, but that's too obvious.
Yeah, I knew that. Well, I think we go for the first 2. Kiev. Well, I knew that from
Tbilisi, Tallinn, Riga. I can't think of any other countries.
Well, that's fine, because we only need 3.
Yes, I know, but I'm trying to think of a more obscure one.
I think those are pretty obscure.
Well, 30 seconds have gone. You've got plenty of time if you need it.
I'm trying to think what was on the list.
Is Moldova a country or a capital?
I think we leave that there then.
Yeah. Just go for those 3.
Go for those 3, I think.
They're really obvious.
Well, it doesn't matter.
OK,
Yeah.
Should we stop the clock?
Yeah.
Stop the clock with 2 seconds left. Right. What are the 3 capital cities you're going to give me?
I think that they're really obvious, but Tbilisi.
Tbilisi?
Tallinn.
Tallinn.
And Riga.
And Riga. Which of those do you think is your best shot at a pointless?
Probably Tbilisi.
Tbilisi. We'll put that last. Which should we put up first? Your least confident.
I think Tallinn will be well known because it's been on the Eurovision Song Contest.
OK, we will have Tallinn, Riga, and Tbilisi. There they are. OK, we were looking for capital cities of former Soviet states. Only one of these needs to be pointless, remember, only one of them. This was your least confident answer. You have gone for Tallinn. Let's see if Tallinn is a correct answer. Let's see how many people said it. Tallinn. Well, it's right. Down it goes, Tallinn. If this goes all the way down to 0, you leave here with £6,500. OK. OK, 5 people knew Tallinn, but that's not surprising. As you said, people watch Eurovision. That's how people know these things. Unfortunately, it is not a pointless answer. You only have 2 more chances to win today's jackpot, but that gives you some indication of the kind of people we were dealing with here. We are looking for capital cities of former Soviet states. Your second answer is Riga. You're more confident about Riga.
Ish.
Let's hope nobody said it. Let's hope it's correct. This has to be pointless if you're going to win the jackpot. Let's see how many people said Riga for £6,500. Well, it's right. It's right. Down it goes. The last one scored 5. If this scores less, maybe it'll go all the way down to 0, and you will leave here with £6,500. Oh! Riga scored 2.
Right.
We're going in the right direction.
That's good.
We're going in the right direction. However, it's not a pointless answer.
No.
That means you have only one final shot at that jackpot of £6,500. We're looking for capital cities of former Soviet states. Tbilisi is your final answer. The answer you both said you had the most faith in to be pointless. Your judgment's been pretty sound so far. You started at 5. You've gone down to less than half. You've gone down to 2. Keep up that trajectory and you'll be down to -1 with Tbilisi. Right, this is it. £6,500. Only Tbilisi is between you and it. Let's see if it's correct. If it is, let's see how many people said it. Tbilisi. It's right. Is it going to go all the way down? There's Euro Disney. There's a lot of traveling around historical places hanging on this. Oh! Unfortunately, you didn't manage to find that vital, pointless answer. So I'm afraid you don't win today's jackpot of £6,500, which will roll over to the next show. But you have been amazing, and you do get to take home our pointless trophy.
Yay.
Richard, they came so close.
Yeah, really close. That's
So
tough
close.
luck. There are 15 former Soviet states, and 6 of them were pointless. But most of those were the Asian countries. So let's take a look at all 6 of them. Ashgabat, which is the capital of Turkmenistan. Astana, which is Kazakhstan. Baku, which is Azerbaijan. All of these were pointless, would have won you the money. Bishkek, which is Kyrgyzstan. Chisinau, which is Moldova in Europe. And Dushanbe, which is Tajikistan. So very unlucky, but very well done if you got any of those 6 at home.
Oh dear, from your reactions to those, it sounds like you might have said them.
I learnt all of those. And I said
Charlotte.
Moldova, but I couldn't remember the capital.
Yes, you did. You did. Does that make you feel any better?
No, not at all. Really, really not.
I tell you what, those trophies are lovely, though. They're very, very nice indeed. Unfortunately, we do have to say goodbye to you, Sandy and Charlotte. But you've done so well. Fantastic showing. Thanks so much for playing. So nobody's won our jackpot today. It therefore rolls over, which means on the next show we'll be playing for, wait for it, £7,500. Join us then to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.